I'm Andy Ditchfield and welcome to Early Doors, a series of short videos designed to give you something to mull over as you start your weekend. Today I'm going to talk about combining text and values to form dynamic labels to be used in data analysis, chart labels, etc. and report writing. So it essentially boils down to two formulas: concatenation, or equals concat in the latest version, and equals text, which enables you to show a value in any format you wish, so for example thousands or millions, and combine it into the text to make a meaningful sentence. Looking at the syntax of concatenation first, it enables you to form unique references. So for instance, in these top two rows I've got two Aberdeens, two different postcodes, so if I want to look up on those I could combine the two by using concat, combining the two, and it gives you a unique reference. Then I can use that in lookups, etc. In the third example, Sheffield, I've actually combined a space in the middle as well, therefore just easier on the eye. The ampersand can also be used to substitute for concatenation. There are minor differences, but essentially it's a much easier way, rather than typing out concat each time, just use the ampersand, and again you can combine that with spaces. Down here on row 25, if I use the ampersand to combine the population of the UK of 65 million into a sentence, it's fine, it does it, but there's no formatting to it, so it's just a bland number, no commas, no abbreviation. So if we use the text formula, combine it with the text formula, you can see in the formula basically I'm referring to the 65 million, but I'm telling it I want two commas after it, i.e. I want to show it as a million. So how do we use that in an analytical perspective? Well, we did groupings in pivot tables a couple of weeks ago, but this time for each of these Tesco stores I'm going to give them a categorization in terms of how much capex they've had spent on them. So I've set up some limits at the top, and then using my ampersand and text formula I'd form this. So between 0 and 25, so if I press F2 to see the edit, so between that, and it adds in the pound signs, the K signs, etc. That's just copied down for the different levels, and then this final one slightly differently, just saying it's going to be over the final limit. Now what I've done is I've just got a formula here looking at the individual capex spend and putting it in one of these categories. Although first of all I'm saying if there is no capex at all, then give it the label no capex, otherwise look up. And if I just copy that down and home, control down, you'll see that it's categorized each. So I can now pick one of these categories. Let's pick 25 to 50. And just checking that, I can see that all those numbers are between 25 and 50,000. Above 100,000, click on that, it starts at 126. So there you go, all above 100,000. So what's clever about that? Well, the clever thing is that if I want to change these, if I want to change my limits, I can do so. So if I want to make that 10,000, it changes the label between 0 and 10, 1050. If I make that 150,000, it'll change that label too. Check that, filter on the level, all starting above 150,000. In the next example, I've done something similar, but this is on like-for-like sales. So it's slightly more complicated because obviously you can go either side of the line, so above and below 0, so whether it be growth or decline. So you've got to be a little bit careful when setting your limits, but the effect is still the same. You can see the formula to the right hand side, and the only other additional tweak I've put on this one, I've used the ABS formula, which is absolute, so therefore it doesn't put minus 2% in the label, it puts between 0 and 2% decline. So we can just filter on that. There you go. This again is dynamic. So if we release the filter, change that to be -3, change that to be 3, and all the labels will change. The final thing to show you on today's video is, after putting these categorizations on, I've just done some analysis on it and essentially put some pivot tables on and charted those up. Okay, so it gives the bandings for the different brands. Now, my chart title is a little boring, so I put a heading up here. It's actually picking out the year-on-year growth rate and adding it to the number of sites. And the way I get that onto the chart is just clicking the chart title, and when you've got it bounded, just type the equals and it will appear in the formula bar and then point to a cell. Press enter. And this now is dynamic again, so that's all brands, 304. If I pick on Express, 21, 5.3% above last year, and if I pick on Extra, there are 7 stores and 0.4 below last year. Again, it's all in the syntax. Well, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Please click the thumbs up beneath the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave me a comment. My contact details will appear when the beer is poured. Cheers.